Lender College, fully from the whole county, and I would like you to accept this amendment. That this place, it is an intellectual theater. Every time a communication is offered on the floor, the individual must be given the time to expound on his or her communication. What necessitated such communication? So on that basis, I will be ready to vote. If we can give our lender colleagues in Nima County the opportunity to expound on this communication. Giving 2 minutes, I'll be ready to vote. Expound.
Mr. Presiding, and to my landed colleague from Maryland, 2 minutes request are so accepted.
Evidence Speaker, co-presiding, distinguished colleagues, the entire Local Government Act, we need to revisit it. I think it was a calculated attempt to remove the lawmakers out of the development package of our various districts in this country. That particular Local Government Act, I think we can be representing the people in our various districts, in the 73 districts, and we are completely out. So my,
Take it back.
I'll take it back.
Thank you.
But I shouldn't be rude. So my unreadiness is that particular communication, that law that was passed, we need to revisit it and improve on it. Thank you.
To the movement, please. We should improve on the Local Government Act.
Okay, it is said noted.
Thank you. Distinguished colleagues, with the amendment made, are you ready to vote? All those in favor say yea. Against nay. We give the President 3 minutes on the mercy. Thank you.
Mr. Presiding, and my patriotic co-presiding from Maggie County and fellow colleague, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to bring to your attention some of the issues that we have gathered, some of the complaints coming from people back home regarding the implementation of this Local Government Act. As all of us may be aware, this act was passed sometime September 2018, and since this act was passed, there were some actions that were supposed to be taken, and we are just 11 months to 2025 September, which will make it exactly 7 years after this act was passed. So, few concerns that I'd like to bring to your attention. One of it is the issue of our local authority. According to Article 56 of our Constitution, our town chiefs, paramount chief, general town chiefs, these positions, the Constitution gave the right that these people are supposed to be elected. But in the absence of elections, the Ministry of Internal Affairs also have the authority to make appointments into those positions. And many of these people, they have raised concern on the issue of their benefit. None of them, some of them have been taking pay, some of them none. So they want to know what their status are, whether they are still considered under the law or whether they are not being considered under the law. Another issue again is the issue of the various city status across the country. The law also provides that by 2020, that is by 7 years after the enactment of this act, many of those cities will be dissolved and only the capital for counties and boroughs will be and townships will exist. So it's important that as we go close towards the end of the 7 years as stipulated by the act, it's important that we invite the Minister of Internal Affairs to come and let us know, or to at least give a report as to the preparations of some of those issues that have been raised in this act and how they are going about in terms of our local government in the various counties and in our various districts. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. I will still come back to provide any information if there's a need.
Distinguished colleague, with the presentation made, we will now ask distinguished colleagues, are you ready to vote? All those in favor of the motion made by Honorable Formula, say yea. Against, motion is carried. We have the minister invited, Honorable Deputy Chief Clerk. On Tuesday, 10 a.m., Messelina. Distinguished colleagues, Messelina. Honorable Sokan on the Messelina.
Honorable Co-Presiding, distinguished colleagues, honored miscellaneous profile in the agenda that this August body should move to communicate with the executive branch as well as the Senate and all relevant proper authority of the full functioning House, and going forward that the issue or the matter relating to our national development, including and not limited to the national budget for 2025 and other matter be addressed. I think it's important in keeping with Article 3 of our Constitution that we reach out to the various branches of government in the spirit of coordination. Our presiding or co-presiding, distinguished colleagues, I think we should today mandate the chief clerk to reach out and inform and communicate adequately and sufficiently the working of this body in the spirit of coordination and so submit.
Can we convert that into a motion if we do not follow?
So let me convert it into motion.
Yeah, please.
Having had successful session over the past weeks doing the Liberian Bureau business, having also considered the fact that we have the majority and the leadership, this I move. And as this body continues to do the Liberian Bureau business, I move, if I can be seconded, that this body, in the spirit of Article 3, communicate with the executive, the judiciary, and our relevant authority, including the Senate, of the normal business, the regular business of this body, if I can be seconded.
Distinguished colleague, you listen to the motion made by our honorable colleagues. Honorable Sokan, what is your will and pleasure? Honorable Formula.
Mr. Deputy Speaker and presiding, co-presiding distinguished colleague, I believe the motion fit only that said modification should be made to said motion, that the communication sent to the executive should inform the executive as to the current status and the issues that has to do with transactions of business in the lower house, giving notice as to how communication should be channeled to the lower house sitting in section in the House of Representatives. So to the movement, the essence of said communication should state channel of communication to section. Thank you. To the deputy chief clerk and the presiding.
to the distinguished gentleman from Bond County. I think this is totally relevant, as well said.
Distinguished Honorable Ku-Wor.
Yes. The issue, my arena is the communication, whether sent to the chief clerk or the deputy chief clerk, it is still sent. Because as far as my knowledge is concerned, the honorable chief clerk wrote this plenary, informing this plenary of her illness. So whether communication come to her and we accept, we noted that letter, thereby accepting that she is ill. So any communication that is addressed to her, it is by best practice that it is this plenary that communication will come to. I just want to make that correction as we move through the voting procedure. Thank you.
I think that should be considered information. Is it?
Yeah.
So, distinguished colleagues, with the motion made, including the amendments, all those in favor of the motion say yea. Against? Thank you. Honorable Chief, Deputy Chief Clerk, in keeping with the motion made, please inform the Chief Executive, the Senate, including all functionaries of government, to include the judiciary of members in section to do the regular business. Thank you. Yes, sir. If nothing else, distinguished colleagues, we will seek motion for a miscellaneous honorable.
Honorable Presiding, co-presiding, fellow colleagues, given the fact that we are doing the Liberian people's business and that sitting in session gave credence to Article 40, for which the House of Senate is still in session. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to ask this plenary to send an open communication to our colleagues, quoting Rule 21 of our laws, of our rules, to invite them to come, because our rule states that in 2 weeks, if you are absent, there could be measures. Let us extend the open invitation to our colleagues to come to do the Liberian.
Please reduce down your motion so we can take action on this.
Thank you, Honorable Presiding. Honorable Presiding, fellow colleagues, co-presiding, fellow colleagues, I move, if I can obtain a second, that a communique be sent to our colleagues in respect to Rule 21 of our rules, that if they do not come, we can take a punitive measure. I so move.
With the motion being seconded, are you ready to vote? Yes. All those in favor of the motion say yea. Yes. Against? Motion is carried. Honorable Deputy Chief Clerk, please act in accordance with the motion. Thank you. Nothing else distinguished for this motion for adjournment.
Drop their Bluetooth charger. Somebody drop their Bluetooth charger. If it is you, please pick it up from the Saudi account.